been 3 days.
Yes, sir, but for you personally, what to be a national assignment, and it has been carried out. So how does it feel having wrapped up this event? Do you think it would spur the spirit of nationalism among the many Nigerians who have observed this event, and going forward, whether it will spark up the much needed interest for Nigerians?
No, I think ownership of Nigeria should be by every Nigerian. Ownership of Nigeria should be by every Nigerian. The mistake we are often making is to think that some people have been specially designated to fight for Nigeria. I meet people on the streets and they say, Prof, sir, Chief, sir, when next are you going to speak again on such and such an issue? I will ask the person, what have you yourself said? So every Nigerian should see this great country as our asset, and that our population of about 237 million people is not a curse. Rather, it is a blessing, because God has endowed us with so much human and natural resources, more than most countries in the world. Even the population, the differences in cultures, in religions, in ethnic nationalities, about 374 ethnic groups in Nigeria, according to Professor Onigu Otite. Nigerians should therefore see themselves as a coat of many colors. If you ask me, do you want a bifurcation or a dismemberment of Nigeria, or you want it to stay? I would say I prefer a united single entity called Nigeria, but which is driven by social justice, equity, good conscience, egalitarianism, and mutual respect one for another. I do not want anyone, for example, to disrespect me because I'm from the minority group, a minority within a minority. Because God did not make mistakes in creating me to come from where I come from, Ijukwe, near Agenebode, Esako, East Local Government Area of Edo State. And I'm very proud of that. So I think the question of making Nigeria a better place should be the concern of every Nigerian. But the patriots have decided to assume the mantle of leadership in these trying and critical times when everything appears wrong. And the patriots, as you know, is a group of very, very eminent, distinguished Nigerians that have distinguished themselves in their individual capacities and have decided to come together since about 1998 to ensure that this country does not disintegrate, that the best is for the country, that everyone is accommodated, and it's made up of, it's led by Chief Emeka Anyaku GCON, and it's made up of eminent traditional rulers, religious leaders, captains of industry, professionals, and civic leaders from all walks of life.
Prof, one thing that stood out for me at the conference, we saw invisible disagreements happen. We saw what happened with former Governor Bongata of Akwa-Ibom. It worked out at some point, but the ability to settle that...
No. It didn't really work out. What happened was that there was a slight disagreement on an issue which had to do with the structure of the federation. And I think there was a little communication gap. And we, the leaders, decided that to be on the same page with everyone, because as these documents were going out one to another, there were some who did not receive from the secretariat. So apparently the position was not sent to him at the secretariat, from the secretariat. So what we did, therefore, was to use the 1 hour break to go into a conference amongst the leadership, where we took the points again one by one, and then we paneled them out and came back here. And you could see that when we came here, about the 22 points were unanimously agreed to by every member of the summit, every delegate of the summit, in a way that was consensual. It was by consensus. No one disagreed. No one raised a point of order. Everyone agreed with what we did. So we own up to what we have done at this summit.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. When Nigerians should expect this new constitution to come to fruition based on your efforts so far?
Yes, for us in the Patriot, where there is a will, there is a way.
I was supposed to come on AIT the other time, but
Oh,
it didn't
yes.
work out.
No, it didn't work out because
Because
we
of
were
the
also
job,
here. We
so
still
I'm
work.
thinking that maybe
What's the
I'll
name
still walk
again?
away. My name is Francis. It was Jacob that called you.
Okay, it was Jacob. And we work out something. And we
Even
work
if
out
it's news
something.
out today, but
Yes.
I'll follow
No, not
through
today.
with it.
They were thinking of maybe Tuesday.
Okay.
And as a Democrat himself, I believe the government of President Bola TINUBU would accede to the requests and demands of Nigerians. And therefore, we are proceeding methodically into implementation. And the implementation is such that in the next 1 or 2 weeks, we are going to make presentations to the president himself of the resolution of this very historic national summit. 2, we are going to produce a draft legislation that will be sent to the National Assembly to effect the recommendations of the summit. That is the engagement we are going to have, a bill, and we are going to encourage the president himself to propose that bill. That is what we intend to do in implementing. It is methodical. It is conscious. We have a plan. And I want to assure you, before the end of this year, you would have seen progress made in that direction in the country. Thank you.